because there are rumors.
Oh yeah, oh my God, guys, there's rumors.
There are rumors.
We need to address the rumors right now. Hi, and welcome to the Savage Podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our savage take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to another episode of the Savage Podcast.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Evening,
good afternoon.
You really like a good afternoon, don't you?
I love a good afternoon.
Because you can say good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode.
And Rose is just far too energetic for my
Some
hangover.
of us are hungover.
Yes.
Some of us being this man right here.
Me.
And some of us are feeling angelic as all hell.
No, and looking angelic as all hell,
God
guys.
damn
For
it,
those
you
of you,
can't.
there are those of you watching. I mean, first of all, take a mental note for you listening that I'm giving Rose a compliment because apparently that never happens.
I was shocked.
And Rose's skin be looking flawless today. I asked her what kind of moisturizer she'd use, and she said she's just naturally youthful. I said, God damn, you know?
You know it.
In our 35th year around the sun.
First of all, speak for yourself, Daniel. I am not 35 just yet.
Not yet, but soon.
Just yet. I still got a good, 6 months ahead of me. Unlike some people. You be freaking out?
Well, because
Daniel's having an existential crisis
I am,
today.
guys. I don't know what's
coupled
wrong with me.
well, usually a hangover, it's given
It
when you're hungover.
exacerbates.
Well, you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
There's a scientific reason
What
behind
be?
the hangover.
Tell me.
So basically, when you drink alcohol, it increases your, I think it's dopamine,
Okay.
by a significant amount. That's why we feel good when we drink it.
Feel happy.
We feel happy. We're like, ooh,
Chatting
I'm
with
having
people.
such a great time. I'm so confident. And then once, I think this is it, guys. Don't quote me on any of this. Basically, something happens to our bodies where we feel like elated and high. It's like any other drug. And then, of course, once you are done, it starts to deplete or whatever, and it goes down. So the next day, that kind of contrast between what you were feeling yesterday, and then so you feel downer when you are hungover.
You feel negative as hell.
You feel negative. You feel like the world's coming to an end. You complain about turning 35 in the next couple
I know.
of weeks.
I shouldn't complain, guys. Like, God.
That's the thing. It's really hard to reconcile with aging, I think.
It is, because you know what the thing is? We've created a society where the only thing that's valuable is youth.
Well, I mean, especially for women.
Yeah.
For men, it's a little bit different.
I know men can. That's true, actually.
Men can get away with. I feel like men almost sometimes, obviously, to a certain extent, their value goes up as you get a little bit older.
This is true.
Whereas women, it's like literally we've been told 35 is the cutoff point, and then after that, your life be over.
God damn. So, Rose, you're.
I only got 5-6 months left.
God damn, you better lock down a husband.
Oh my god.
When you gonna give me some grandkids?
Okay. You be my father? Are you going crazy?
I am, guys.
Guys, I don't know if I've ever mentioned. So I have two favorite types of Daniels. One is very pissed off Daniel.
Yeah.
And second is, I think this might be my favorite.
Hungover
and pissed off Daniel.
Oh God.
It's the combination that is going to lead to a lot of laughing.
So you're welcome in advance, guys. Speaking of
what?
Speaking of which, guys, if you're not already, you should check out our Patreon.
Yes, patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
And we have some shout outs.
We have some shout outs. So new patrons, my friends. So thank you so much to Kiera
and to Jana
for joining our Patreon family. If you guys don't know, we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. You get every episode a week earlier than everyone else. You get ad-free content and bonus episodes every single month. And we're about to record after this. Despite Daniel
not
wanting
right
to die.
This.
Not right after this. We're going to record the Patreon exclusive for May. And you better be excited because, again, we got hungover, pissed off Daniel.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing an I've Had It episode where we talk about the things.
What have we had of it? What have we had it with?
The things we've had it with when it comes to dating.
Oh, God damn. And there's a lot. I've had it with dating in general.
Oh, God.
And that's the preview, guys.
So if you guys want to listen to us complain for an hour, head on over to our Patreon and
Why
join.
is my mic not staying up either? Like, what is going on?
I don't know what you're doing, Daniel.
Oh, I just want to just relax.
Okay, just I think it's because you're moving in weird directions. You're gonna.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, can we just? Okay. So guys, another little announcement. If you guys haven't yet,
Oh yeah.
sign up for our trips. We are doing Thailand and Bali in August. It's coming up very shortly, and yeah,
Very
Bali
soon.
Bali is almost sold out.
Oh wow.
And Thailand has still some spots left.
And guys,
well,
it's
they
gonna
both
be-
have spots left,
Yeah.
but Bali's almost sold out.
You could do both if you wanted to.
You could do both if you wanted to, which I recommend, because then that way you are, you're taking advantage of that long ass flight
Exactly. Well,
to Southeast
depending
Asia.
where you are.
Depending on where you are, but most
Yeah.
people I think are going to come from further away.
Yeah.
So yeah, come to Thailand and or Bali. The links are always in the show notes.
Yep.
And hope to see you there.
You guys can hang out with us. And
Yeah,
see,
and see
witness
how we
this
are
in person.
I don't know if this is a good thing.
I know,
It
I'm
might
like-
turn some people off.
Probably they like see me and they're like, "Oh God, Daniel, you are like a hot mess," and I don't want to experience that in person.
Drink some tea, Daniel.
I will,
Okay? I
okay.
made you some tea so you can feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this, Daniel comes from a British background, so tea is.
Tea warms the cockles of the soul, Rose. You should know this by now. It's almost as good as a British crumpet. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Lord Jesus, save my soul. Okay, guys, so we've got a few stories today, starting with a very
Dark
heavy,
story, yeah.
dark story, which of course is Daniel's favorite because
well,
we are in the Doom and Gloom podcast.
We are the Doom and Gloom podcast, guys. So it's been pretty topical right now. But basically, a gentleman named Daniel Penny is going to be facing criminal charges around the death of Jordan Neely, who was from what I've understood, a homeless man that was living in New York or close to New York. And basically, what had happened was, God, like seriously. What is wrong with people? So this 24-year-old could face up to 15 years in prison for administering a fatal chokehold on a 30-year-old black man experiencing homelessness, who was the Jordan Neely, on May 1st after an altercation on board the subway.
Like, why?
Exactly. I'm sorry. Like, what kind of altercation are you getting in on a subway that you need to strangle somebody to death? So bystander.
So was he a police officer? Like, what was he?
No. It says bystanders.
Just a random dude?
Yeah, listen to this. Bystanders on board the subway on May 1st have said that Neely did not physically assault anyone in the moments leading up to Penny grabbing him from behind.
What the? I feel like I've kind of heard people talking about this, but I didn't know like the details at all.
Yeah.
So I guess he's facing, what was it, up to 15 years?
Up to 15 years, yeah.
But why?
I know.
This is a random person, I imagine.
Like,
He didn't know this person, I imagine.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but like if someone's annoying me or we're getting into an argument on the subway, I'm not all of a sudden going to be like,
Yeah.
Like what is wrong with people? Like why?
What do we know the details of what happened? I mean,
Like the altercation, you mean?
Yes. May 1st, 2023, around 2:30 p.m., Jordan Neely, a homeless 30-year-old black man, was killed by Daniel Penny, who placed him on a chokehold while they were riding the F train in Manhattan.
Yeah.
At least two others restrained Neely's limbs. Neely is the guy that got killed?
Yeah. He was apparently yelling on the subway about how hungry and tired he was.
Okay, so then you're going to
He was like, I don't
kill
have
him?
food. I don't have a drink. I'm fed up. I don't mind going
my
to jail
God.
for life in prison. I'm ready to die.
Oh no, that's so sad. And then he decided to just kill him? It says video captured by freelance journalist who was also riding the subway shows Penny with his arms wrapped around Neely's neck and his legs wrapped around around the man's wrist and thighs from behind. After a few minutes, Penny releases Neely from his grasp and he lies motionless on the floor of the subway car, which is stopped at the Broadway blah blah station. Penny also had the man in the same chokehold prior to the start of the widely publicized video. So basically, during this chokehold, somebody decided to start filming. Mm-hmm. And then it says, I guess they responded to a call about a physical fight, but it sounds like he was just attacked.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like, like one would argue like he was yelling and screaming on the subway.
Yeah, but
that doesn't justify somebody fucking tackling him and strangling him
and
on the
people
subway.
have mental health issues. He could be going through some,
How many people, like when we were living in London, how many people would like walk up and down the subway or the tube, like asking for money and shit?
And how many people do we see people, acting neurotic on public transit all the time? It's very normal. Like, I mean, obviously we don't want to see that. Obviously, there's so many problems associated with that, but you don't go and
choke somebody.
What
also,
the
it's like,
fuck? I don't understand.
So this guy was 24, and I'm like, honestly, the youth of today, I feel like they just like have these like.
Wait, we cannot blame the youth of today.
No, I know.
On this one man's actions. Let's just put it out there, Daniel. Okay.
This is very true, guys. I'm not going to blame the youth of today, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like there's a lot of like anger in society right now.
There is,
and people are just like lashing out and taking it out on people that
the
aren't
most vulnerable people.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but this is sad, and
yeah, it's very sad. I mean. Again, like he was charged with second-degree manslaughter. So what's first-degree manslaughter and what's second-degree manslaughter?
So again, guys, don't quote me on this. But from
didn't you study law?
I did criminology. I took a criminology course.
But didn't you do the what's the law exam?
Oh yeah, I did the LSAT.
LSAT.
I did the LSAT, guys.
Should know.
Never went to law school though.
But you passed it.
I did pass. Yeah,
okay.
I did a decent. I didn't do as good as I had hoped, but what I was gonna say is the
second-degree manslaughter.
First degree is like you planned it.
No, but that's not manslaughter. First degree murder is you plan the murder.
Yeah.
Second degree murder is like you didn't plan it, but then you meant to kill it. This is what I understand. And then the third charge is manslaughter. But what I'm confused with is why is it first degree manslaughter?
Google it, Rose. I don't know.
Oh, God damn it. I thought you were going to answer properly, but you just didn't understand my question.
Oh, Rose is way too energetic for me today, guys. I'm just like I'm dying on the inside right now. My head hurts. I like really wish I didn't drink last night.
Advil?
Oh, I don't know what I need, Rose. I need a nap. Like you woke me up too early.
You guys, I mean, don't you just love the enthusiasm of my co-host at this very moment?
I came to Rose's. We were supposed to record, and I was like, I just want a nap. And Rose was like, oh, God. First of all, I showed up 20 minutes late. And then I'm like, I'm in a nap. And Rose was like, oh, my God, Daniel,
I made him lunch. I made him tea.
Mm-hmm.
God, guys.
Hashtag wifey material.
Hashtag wifey material. Yet I'm dealing with this useless man, which I guess I should get used to based on...
Well, exactly. I told Rose, you're welcome. This is what it's like living with a straight man. I'll lay on the couch and you get everything done for me and work harder, Rose. Like, I'm just really disappointed that, on top of all this, I didn't get a massage. So...
Oh, and I give good massages.
I also give good massages, though. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Although it gets a little bit weird. I remember one time, guys, it's just
Stop it.
Story time. No, I'm going to tell a funny story.
Is it about Croatia?
Yes.
Okay, you can tell.
Yes. So Rose and I were staying in Croatia, and
you can tell the story.
Rose gonna kill me.
No, it's fine.
And we were staying in Dubrovnik, and we were staying in the city center.
We also have to give other context. So during this time, we were living in London. We were flatmates. Okay.
Yeah.
And me and also Chrissy was part of this too.
Yeah, Chrissy was.
The three of us, we had this very strange friendship where
people are gonna think we're so weird.
We would give each other massages.
Yeah.
But like, not sexually.
No. And so
we would just do it all the time.
We did. The three of us, we'd have.
But like, we're all good at massages, so it was like
exactly.
a good
It was nice.
trade.
So anyway, we'd been walking all day. I think we toured the city walls and like everything. And both of us got back to our Airbnb, and the man that owned the Airbnb like lived upstairs, so he could he was upstairs. And
he was like an old Croatian man.
Yeah, and he was so sweet. He like gave us like free like Croatian wine that he made when we got there.
Oh my God, you have such good memory. I don't remember this.
You don't remember this? It was so sweet. He was such a sweet man. Anyway, long story short, we get back to the Airbnb. We're both like, fuck, like our calves are so sore. And then we're both like at the same time, like, should we give each other like calf massages? And so Rose got on the bed. She laid down. I started giving her a calf massage. And if anyone knows, a calf massage, like that can be
painful.
It's a painful and it's sensitive. And the types of noises coming out of Rose's mouth, I was like, this guy upstairs definitely thinks we're having sex right now. 100%. There's no way around it. Like Rose would just be like, oh,
stop.
Like it was like, because Rose already makes noises when she gets massaged, but this was like next level. Like it was like all of the tension in your body was being released, Rose. If you guys catch my drift.
I mean, public service announcement after that story.
Yes.
Because there are rumors.
Oh yeah, oh my God, guys, there's rumors.
There are rumors.
We need to address the rumors right now.
Okay, and we're gonna make this into a short. Amber, this is going to be a short. Okay. Guys, public service announcement. We're going to say this for the record.
For the record, guys, this is
For the public permanent record.
Yes.
Me and Daniel, we are not a romantic couple.
No, we are not dating, guys.
I know some people have no gaydar. Mm-hmm. Was that rude?
Nope.
Okay.
Accurate.
Or people have not listened to this podcast properly.
Yeah.
But there are rumors that we are
vicious
dating.
Rumors. Not
this
only
is
just
not helping our,
Exactly. Not only just rumors. Apparently, allegedly, guys, there's proof out there that we're dating.
And I'm like, tell that story?
I'm like, guys, is there like a picture of us together? Because there's like 500,000 of those. Yeah. Is there a video of us together hanging out? There's like 500,000 of those.
Yeah, if one of us had to get some kind of green card or something, we could definitely.
We could
fool some officers and say that we're in a relationship.
Yeah, but then we'd have to cut all the time as I say I'm a flaming homosexual and how much we both like the D, the USD. But yeah, shocking.
So anyway, for the record, we are not a couple. We are platonic AF, other than apparently when we give each other fucking massages.
Yeah, that's still platonic.
But still platonic,
yeah.
My friends. We are, unfortunately, both of us are very much attracted to men. The male species.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And also, guys, just also a public service announcement on top of that. If you ever want to hear some very interesting and unique noises coming out of Rose, you just need to give her a calf massage.
Well, that's not all you have to do.
Anyway, my God.
Message to the one straight man listening out there.
There are a few men that listen to the podcast,
Oh,
Rose.
Lord Jesus. Anyways, they're probably all gay. I'm lusting after you.
This is true. Well, guys, I'm single. So, and we're not dating. We're not a thing.
Yes, we are not a thing. This is not a thing. We are platonic.
We never experimented in university or anything. Nothing's ever happened.
I'm more likely to make out with a woman than to make out with Daniel. I'll tell you that much. Not because he's not an attracactive man, but because he's
that would just be weird.
He's a flaming homosexual.
Exactly. I'm more likely to make out with another woman than for us to make out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, glad it's out there now. No, we're gonna pin this at the top of our Instagram.
We are. This is gonna be like a top
this
story.
This needs to be the top breaking news. Yes. So anyways, next story. So guys, we kind of talked about this in the last episode, or maybe it was like 2 episodes ago. I mean, we talk about this all the time, the epidemic of loneliness, but now we're relating it to AI.
But remember, we had that story about how AI was going to take over on dating, like
dating
the apps. Yeah. So I guess, again, the U.S. has announced... U.S.
Surgeon General warns of loneliness epidemic.
Oh, God damn, it's an epidemic now. It's no longer a pandemic.
That's a different pandemic.
What would be worse, an epidemic or a pandemic?
I don't know. I think a pandemic be worse. Oh, I don't know.
Maybe epidemic is... I don't know, guys. Anyway.
I don't know if you would call this like a pandemic. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly the difference, but they always say epidemic when it comes to like obesity epidemic, the loneliness epidemic. They don't call it like the obesity pandemic.
And you guys, it's sad. There's so many lonely people out there.
Yes. So they warn of loneliness epidemic, and some say that generative AI ChatGPT is the cure. Let's find out why. According to the formal advisory report released by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services entitled Our Epidemic of Loneliness and Isolation. So they've literally released this report. Yeah. It says that there are many things that are alarming about loneliness. The lack of social connection poses a significant risk for individual health and longevity. Loneliness and social isolation increase the risk of premature death by 26 and 29% respectively.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's insane. So loneliness is 26%.
Social isolation is 29.
30% higher.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Because we literally cannot survive alone, right? That's well known, but that we in modern day society, we seem to kind of ignore that fact. Anyways, lacking social connection can increase the risk for premature death as much as smoking.
Yeah.
Up to 15 cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
In addition, poor or insufficient social connection is associated with increased risk of disease, including 29% increased risk of heart disease and 32% increased risk of stroke. Furthermore, it is associated with increased risk of anxiety, depression, dementia.
That makes sense.
Which makes sense. Additionally, the lack of social connection may increase susceptibility to viruses and respiratory illness. Yeah. What? okay, like I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad. So basically it's really bad. We're literally in this epidemic. Okay. Yeah. And one aspect of loneliness that can seem confusing is that we can be lonely even when amongst other people.
Yeah.
Your first assumption might be that lonely person is someone that is not around other people, or that does not have other people within reach. Yeah. Not necessarily. You can be lonely even if you are amongst other people. Yeah. Okay, so how does this tie to AI?
But again, that study. So again, guys, let's just be really not cautious here, but the study was done on loneliness, right? So they're saying loneliness is an epidemic. It's happening. So some people are suggesting, although I don't believe that there's a study here to support this yet, but some people brazenly assert that the latest artificial intelligence, generative AI, such as the widely successful ChatGPT, which Rose showed me, which was fucking insane.
could be
a cure for loneliness. So the reason that they're saying this, but seeking to get people to interact with all other people is tricky and carries its own problematic issues. As stated earlier, which we mentioned, you can interact with people and still be like feeling lonely. The interaction has to be presumably be meaningful and foster healthy outcomes. If the connections you have with people are empty, or negative, then loneliness will become worse. What they're saying is the beauty of generative AI, some proclaim, consists of utilizing AI that will cheer you up and aid you in beneficially coping with your loneliness. The AI can be programmed to always look on the sunny side of life, like me.
Continue. The sunny side of life, like Daniel.
Except when I'm hungover. And furthermore, generative AI such as ChatGPT can be available to you 24/7. You can access the generative AI the moment you feel a pang of loneliness. But like this seems fucked up to me.
I'm sorry. Who's writing this and whose opinion is this?
Exactly.
Is it based on any science? I strongly do not agree. This is kind of like saying social media could help cure loneliness.
Exactly.
This is not like, maybe one day we'll get there, but I feel like right now where we are in our evolution is, I don't believe that is possible. AI cannot cure loneliness.
But it's like what?
Putting a Band-Aid on something.
Exactly. It's like, okay, because essentially, like, if you're using the AI from the sounds of it to create a more happy interaction or whatever, but it's still not a person that you're communicating with, and it's still via chat, right? Like, it's not,
literally talking to a machine.
Yeah. Or it's like, what this kind of reminds me of? Do you remember in I think it was in Japan, there was like a bunch of people that were like marrying those like hologram women. And it was like these guys that like felt like they had this really, deep connection with this AI generated woman, basically.
Like a hologram
that they like actually married and they would like have interactions with. But at the end of the day, it's like, you're not actually, it's not real.
Yeah.
And this actually scares me more than anything, to be honest.
I mean, I feel like it would get worse. Like, you guys, I don't know who's writing this. You want to get comfortable?
Yeah. But I don't agree with it. I feel like it's like,
I mean, I would like to see some research, but I think the problem is, I believe that loneliness, the reason why we're having this epidemic, not just the only reason, but one of the reasons is this increase in technology, which causes people to not interact with other people and instead interact with machines.
Yeah.
That's why we have computers, internet, we're spending too much time on social media,
yeah.
all these things, and we are not interacting with other people. That's why even though we are so connected more than ever, virtually, we are still experiencing highest level of loneliness we have ever seen in our society. So how are we going to fix this situation that is somewhat caused by technology with more technology?
It seems like like you said, it's a Band-Aid, first of all. Like, it's not.
But is it even a Band-Aid?
No.
Like, it's going to make it worse.
I know.
I feel like.
Well, because it's like now, the AI stuff, you can like get AI generated. I saw this AI generated Coca-Cola commercial the other day.
Oh, goddamn.
I was like, it was insane. It was such an interesting commercial, but I was like, how the fuck is this? Like, this is gonna, like, guys, I know we're on the precipice of this, but like, to digress like just a moment, but like, AI is gonna fuck up jobs.
Oh God, it's really scary.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm talking marketing, I'm talking finance, I'm talking, like, I saw somebody on TikTok the other day that was like, I'm an accountant and I have my own business and I'm using not ChatGPT, but like some kind of AI. She's like, I just submit all my expenses and it does my tax return. It like figures everything out.
See, with something like that, I can get on board.
I know.
but not having to do. Here's the thing. I've been talking about this for the last few weeks because it's really concerning. I think we talked about it did we talk about this in depth? But basically my concern is that I think if we were to use technology and AI in a good way, okay, if human beings were actually decent and we didn't live in this, late stage capitalist hellscape, then AI could be a great thing. As in, we could have more people freed up, less people constantly working, because all we do is work. Okay, we're spending 5 out of the 7 days a week working. And the majority of those days working as well. So we're spending so much time working. And like I always say, most jobs are bullshit. I believe that we don't actually all have to be working, because there isn't, like, we don't need to be constantly producing new things and constantly making new machines and all this stuff. Like, we have enough. But because we have this society where in order to survive, we have to make money by working, because we don't have a social safety net that's going to give us, a certain quality of life unless we work our fucking asses off.
Exactly.
But then now we have this introduction of AI, which is, going to eliminate however many jobs. Not in every sector, but even if, for example, like we were talking to one of our friends, and in this space, like in the tech space, instead of having maybe 10 people on their team, now they can have 1 or 2 people and AI, and that's going to be maybe even more efficient than they had with 10 people. Which, would be great if those, 8 people that get laid off could just, I don't know, like they don't have to be working as much. But because we don't have any sort of, universal basic income, social safety, like there's no place where we don't have to work.
You know what the issue is though with that, Rose, is like going back to that example of like, let's say you have 10 people doing a job. Now you only need 2, and AI can take over. Those 8 people get laid off, right? They have to claim unemployment. Then they have to like whatever. They become a burden on taxpayers or whatever. I don't want to say burden, but that revenue that's saved, or that revenue that's saved because they don't have to pay those wages anymore,
that's going to go to the top.
It doesn't get distributed, right?
That's what I mean.
It goes up.
That's the problem. So because we don't have because our system simply keeps putting more money to the top and giving all the CEOs and all these people, the shareholders, all the money. You're right. Exactly. That's the problem. The money that's saved from not having those people is not getting distributed, but now it's just going to the same people in that company that made those layoffs in the first place.
Exactly.
So that's the issue. It's like, and then all these people are going to be laid off. And again, you're right. Like, because, and again, these companies, they're not even paying enough taxes. So my belief is that they should be taxed. Like, fucking tax the rich. Fucking tax the rich. Okay.
God damn, Rose, but you hungover.
I'm just pissed.
I know.
Like, what's going on? Like, what kills me is that all these billionaires that keep working and making more and more billions, and they keep hoarding more and more money.
It's insane.
For what?
Exactly.
For what? So they can fucking sit and tweet all day about dumb shit? Like, go retire. Like, you cannot possibly spend hundreds of millions of dollars, let alone billions, in your lifetime, even if you wanted to. That's why they do stupid shit, buy dumb shit. Like, wealth is wasted on the rich. Is that what they say? Like, it is wasted because you are wasting your money on the dumbest shit when people are out there fucking not being able to afford groceries. And now people are getting laid off, and it's just fucked. Daniel had to go and do some business.
That's gonna be cut out.
Well, we have to say it because we just abruptly ended, and I can't remember what we were talking about.
That's true. And Rose was on a really good.
I know, I was on a
for
rant.
a change, a really good idea. I was
on a rant.
That will also
anyway,
be cut
guys. So, moral of the story is,
don't drink.
Don't drink.
Yeah.
And also, we fucked.
I know. We were talking about like jobs and like how the cost savings that happens, it goes up to the top basically.
Yes.
And I do feel very concerned about this, like in a sense that, because the unfortunate thing, guys, is like, it's great that we can, 2 people can do a job that took 10 before.
Yeah, but
that's increased efficiency, right? But at the same time, it's like, but the rest of the society is not reaping those benefits. A select few are.
Exactly.
So like the more we get ChatGPT and like, even for marketing, I told you I saw that Coca-Cola ad. It was phenomenal. It was like this art gallery and the Coca-Cola, like it was all 3D. It looked almost real. I was like, this is fucking crazy.
So basically the thing that took millions of dollars and probably like hundreds of people to make, which is a commercial, can now be made with a robot.
Yeah. With AI.
Yes.
You can just type in what kind of commercial you want.
So we're talking about hundreds of jobs.
Yep.
And again, it's like
Even movies. Think about the movie industry.
Exactly. Like this is like, and again, it would be great if that means less people have to work all the time, or if we can work 3 days a week instead of 5.
Yeah, like,
you know?
even think about, like, Rose, like, let's take it a step further and think about YouTube.
Yeah.
God damn, you could, you know what? I mean, this might be an efficient way of working, but maybe in the future you can have a recipe idea.
Yeah.
Type it up, and then AI will generate a video for you.
Oh, goddamn. And then use my face and everything.
And it'll be you talking and presenting the video and cooking.
I mean, that would be great for me.
Yeah. Because
for someone like me, it would be very beneficial. Because
like self-employed.
I'm self-employed.
Yeah.
I'm not, some giant, I don't know, like Walmart corporation, whatever the fuck.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for, in a world where we are all expected to have jobs, this is the problem. Because now it's like we have to keep creating more and more jobs, even though it's like, well, this was also the problem with, when we were talking about like a few years ago when, self-checkout came out, for example.
Yeah.
That cut lots of jobs.
Yep.
But then it's like, again, who's reaping the benefits of not having having self-checkout? It's not the regular people that are losing the jobs. It's not the customers. It's whoever owns the corporation.
The shareholders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then what happens to all the people that lose their jobs? Now they have to find other jobs in a society where there's less jobs. And yet everything's getting more expensive.
Yeah.
The rich are getting richer, and people are fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think, and we talked about this before, but I really do feel like it's happening. It hasn't fully happened yet, but we mentioned about having like some sort of like revolution. You know what I mean? And I do feel like, and
it's coming.
Yeah, I feel like essentially, guys, and mark my words, like let's take a snippet of this podcast, and I really do feel like especially as this continues to happen, right? So you have AI taking jobs, you have corporations making these massive cuts and doing all these things to, again, generate returns for shareholders. So you're going to get a larger and larger portion of society that are going to get disgruntled, right?
Yes.
And they're going to be like, all these people that lost their jobs, and then the CEO of these big companies is making $40 million a year. Yeah. They're just like, well, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, and people are really starting to get more disgruntled about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, especially as it starts to impact more and more people, like including myself, you, other people, it's going to start something.
You
like
think
it
so?
will. Yeah, it has to, because, at the end of the day, it's like the French Revolution, guys. You had the aristocrats. Right. Unfortunately, it got back to exactly where it was. But back then, there was a much larger divide, right? You had like the aristocrats and you had the poor people, basically. Like that's it. There was no in between. We're the in between right now.
Right.
But the in between right now is getting squeezed out.
Sure.
Whatever way you want to look at it, either they're making themselves wealthier somehow, or they can, or they're getting squeezed into poverty because of rising costs. Like, I'm sorry, but like if inflation is 8-10% per year and your raise is only 2%, like you are losing money every single year, and that's not sustainable.
God damn, Daniel.
I know.
So when will be the revolution?
I don't know.
Should we start the revolution?
I'm not ready.
You're not ready for the revolution? I hope. I mean, I almost hope there's a revolution, but also like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So anyway,
we're too distracted. We gotta. That's the thing. They keep us distracted. They keep us on the wheel. They keep us busy working. So when are we going to have time to get together for a revolution?
Well, if we all lose jobs to AI and shit, there's gonna be a lot of people that have a lot of time on their hands.
Oh, God damn, Daniel. Be scary as all hell. Okay, guys. The next story of the Doom and Gloom podcast. God damn. Okay, so we got some news from the Mormon Church.
God damn.
You be a Mormon?
No, but I know a Mormon.
You know a Mormon. How be that Mormon?
And no comment. But interestingly, I didn't realize this in the Mormon faith, but if you're part of the Mormon Church, basically, like, let's say we were part of the Mormon Church, you have to like contribute a certain percentage of your income to the church.
Of course you do.
And it's like quite a bit. I think it's like mandatory minimum is like, I don't know, guys. I think it's like 10%.
I mean, let's face it. Religion, guys, if you believe in religion, if you believe in something, it's not like, I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
But these religious organizations.
Organized religion.
If you believe whatever you believe, okay, that's fine. But these organized religious organizations are money-making machines.
They are.
And this leads to the story of today.
So this Mormon who left Wall Street to work for charity blows the whistle on what he said is his church's And I don't
clandestine
hedge
What's
fund.
clandestine?
I know I don't actually know what that word. Can you Google that?
Damn,
what
maybe
that
we
means?
should Nari. We're university graduates, Daniel. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Oh, here we go. Oh, you're going to love this article. You're going to love it. Every religion has its mysteries. One of the closest guarded secrets of the Church of the
I got it.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has been its wealth.
Okay,
Anyway,
pause. Clandestine means kept secret or done secretively.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
we learned a new word, guys.
and they're saying that this church, the Mormon Church, has like I guess a large hedge fund. Super large. During his past 9 years managing money at the church firm, the value of its investments ballooned past $100 billion.
No. And these people are not paying taxes.
Nope.
Because when religious organizations do not pay taxes, which is fucked up. Like, it's fucked.
So apparently, this whistleblower, guys, again, there's more to this
$100
article.
billion.
It's insane. He says that would make it the largest treasure held by any religious fund in America. But instead of spending the money to do good, which is what they're supposed to be doing, the whistleblower alleges it was used in ways that bent the law and ultimately broke his faith. I thought I was going to work for a charity. I thought that's what my skills were going to do, was help build the charity and do good things. And the funds were never used for that. It was really a clandestine, like a secretive hedge fund.
Wow. So he's blowing the whistle. Now he no longer a Mormon faith.
So he says, he's questioned, like, why is he considering it a clandestine hedge fund? And again, he reiterates, like, those funds weren't used the way they were appropriate, like supposed to be used, basically.
Yeah. Which, again, this should surprise no one. Mm-hmm. This happens all the time, not just in the Mormon church, but also in, for example, the Christian churches. This is why you have those mega wealthy pastors that will, like, the televangelists that literally are probably like exactly, millionaires.
It's the guy with that guy with the crazy eyes.
Yes, and they all look motherfucking crazy.
Yeah.
And they are so loaded. It's unbelievable that this is continuously happening. Yeah. And like no one's doing anything about it.
You know what gets me about all this though is how they're exempt from tax. Like,
I know. I think it's because you're supposed to separate religious faith from
government.
Yeah. But then if you're making so much money, there should be some I don't know what, but there should be something that prohibits someone from becoming so wealthy.
Yeah.
And not paying taxes.
Well, exactly. And also there should be stipulations. I think what would work here, like, I mean, again, guys, I'm not a lawmaker or anything like this or a policymaker, obviously. But like, you know, just reading this article and listening to what this guy is saying about how, you know, they've amassed this massive wealth. The funds aren't used what they're supposed to be used. Like maybe the government could have in place, like, you know, a certain amount of like funds needs to be used for charity or for, you know, certain charitable things, otherwise you get taxed.
Right.
So it shouldn't be like this opportunity to amass $100 billion, not pay tax on it. It should be an opportunity to say, hey, you guys are earning a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You have to put X percentage, whatever it might be, whatever the magic number is, into the community, into, you know, your charitable organization. Because charities also don't pay tax, from my understanding.
I think that's what it is. Or maybe that's what it is. Maybe because like a church is supposed to be a charity. I don't know.
Maybe they pay a little bit. I don't know, guys.
Clearly, we know a lot about this.
I know, but I know churches don't. Like religious, like that pastor.
But then my question is, so like, let's say the church itself doesn't pay tax, but then do they pay? Obviously, it's probably seen as, I don't know, religious organization, charitable, whatever it is. And then the people that work at the church, like a pastor, do they take some kind of income? And then is that income taxed?
That's a good question. I think it probably would be. Because it would be considered income to that person.
Let me Google.
But maybe they don't have to pay tax. Maybe they're tax exempt.
Can you imagine? Fucking hell. Guys, Jesus did not want this, okay?
I know.
Like, no. How are televangelists so wealthy? All right, so it says this. The church itself is a non-taxable entity. Religious officiants, including televangelists, pay taxes on their income. There are special rules, but they do pay taxes. In fact, they're considered self-employed. Therefore, they pay the employer's portion of the whatever taxes. That being said, Televangelists are a different breed. Because of the tax-free status of churches, they can travel the world first class on church assets and live in the church-owned mega mansions. While they're often paid handsomely, a lot of the compensation is in the form of these perks. For example, a few years ago, the whatever pastor asked his flock to buy him a $65 million Gulfstream G60 jet, okay, for church business.
That's so ridiculous.
That's how they're able to, even though they take an income and they do have to pay income tax, everything they do is under the church.
Yeah.
And apparently Jesus wants him to live in a mega mansion.
I mean,
and people are just fucking
eating it up.
That's what's insane.
This is what blows my mind. If like the church or the people that are part of the church are like living in like multi-million-dollar mansions, doing all this shit, and I'm just like,
God,
this
they
is
eat
so fucked up.
Because they're basically making the money literally through donations only. So imagine, like, we're talking hundreds of millions, if not billions, in donations.
Yeah.
From people that think that this is real.
Like I said, if you are part of the Mormon faith and you are part of a church, it is required by the church that you need to contribute. And again, guys, don't quote me on this. I think
how much
Google
of their income?
Google how much income Mormons need to pay the church. I think it's 10%, but that's minimum.
What?
That's minimum.
Yeah, it says each person gives 10% of their income.
And that's minimum. Some do more. So the
10%, guys.
Yeah. So the girl that I met that was Mormon, lovely girl, she mentioned that her dad is a teacher at the Board of Education, and her mom, I can't remember what her mom does. I think maybe she was a teacher as well.
Right.
So like they are both contributing 10% of their income to the church.
So does that mean they get like a place in the kingdom of heaven or something?
It's like buying your place in
oh
kingdom,
my God.
You know?
You guys, I'm telling you, the biggest scam that we've ever been told
is organized religion.
Yes.
I know. It just like
it's just baffling.
Again, I don't blame people for wanting to believe in something.
Yes.
Because obviously
but
like
that's what people are taking advantage of.
Exactly. Because like death is scary, right? Like it's like you're just gone. So like it kind of gives you, and when things happen in life, you're like, oh,
you're looking for an explanation.
Exactly. Because some things are very, very weird, So it kind of gives people that outlook, which I think is fair and fine. What the problem is there's people that prey on that.
Tons of people, apparently.
Institutions that prey on that, and institutions which I'm honestly shocked like that these institutions are still around. Some of them, like even
I'm shocked that there's so much still.
Like look at what happened just in Canada, for example, with the what do they call them? What were those residential schools?
Right.
Where they like basically stripped like the Native American or Aboriginal people from their homes, the kids, to like westernize them in these schools, all under the guise of like this is something that the church's faith is doing, or like those mission trips to like Africa and stuff, like to different countries in Africa. And it's like I think that there are some good things that they're doing, like providing like maybe drinking water and doing things like that, but it's all under this guise like you have to start going to the church, you have to believe in this. Like it's just,
I know, it's icky. And is it really philanthropy when you are doing it under the condition that this person is now going to be believing in or going to church?
Not really.
And also question, I know these more, we've, oh no, you haven't seen Book of Mormon.
I haven't, no.
Oh God, it's so good. Anyways, so basically these people, these Mormons, they go on these mission trips, right? And not just Mormons, but I think, I don't know, Christians do it as well.
Yeah.
Which I've always found very icky because they always go to these like poor countries where people are like desperate for food and medical care.
And they bring them food and medical care.
And with the guys that, we're just being, like charitable. Yeah. It's just philanthropy. But really they're trying to indoctrinate these people that may also not have, maybe proper education and, whatever, right?
It's bad.
And then you indoctrinate them. And then my question is, if the Mormon people have to pay 10% to the church, do the people even living in these unfortunate situations, do they also have to pay 10%?
I don't know how that works.
Oh, God.
But it's like looking at, again, the church in Canada with the residential schools and stuff. Like if that had been any other institution.
Right.
It wouldn't be around today, or there would be massive lawsuits.
This is true.
All sorts of things. Like it's just shocking, but they're able, and like think about in the States, there's so many scandals where I can't remember what the movie was, but they did this movie and it was highlighting
about child abuse.
Yeah, about all the child abuse that happens in the churches, and it's like
which happens all the time.
Yet these institutions are still around, and you know what the worst part is?
Not just still around, but they're still like
thriving.
I think they are slowly. There's less
declining.
and less people.
Yeah.
As people get more educated. Unfortunately, that is literally there's a very strong correlation.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's still strong enough that it's still going.
Yeah.
And
it just blows my mind.
Apparently has $100 billion worth of hedge funds.
Yeah.
Which is absolute insanity. I didn't even know it was that big.
Exactly. One, I just think to myself, I'm like, they shouldn't be allowed. Like, this is a charity. Like, the charity, if it's not using its funds for charitable things, then it should be taxed.
Yeah.
Like, because then it no longer is a charity, it becomes actually a company.
But then again, it's that whole separation of church and state.
Oh, it's so stupid. So fucking stupid, guys.
It's so dumb. But yeah, so there you go. Biggest scam of life. Organized religions taking money from vulnerable people that just want to believe in something.
Yep. And the last story we're going to leave you guys with, it's a little short, sweet one.
Vice Media Group. We all know Vice, right?
Yes. I was shocked when I read this.
Files for bankruptcy protection. So they're closing. So Vice Media Group, popular for websites such as Vice and Motherboard, filed for bankruptcy protection on Monday to engineer its sale to a group of lenders, capping years of financial difficulties and top executive departures. Vice said that anyway, so basically
they're going out of business. Well, it sounds like they're being bought. And
are they being bought?
Filed for bankruptcy, engineer its sale to a group of lenders. So they're trying to, I don't know.
So,
and I guess they've just been having years of financial difficulty, which shocks me because they're huge.
They're huge, but also how do they make money?
Advertising.
But I guess it's not enough money. I don't know.
No one making enough money, you know. Profits got to keep growing, Rose. Everything got to grow infinitely.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know anything about Vice. I just know they make some, documentaries and shit.
Yeah, and content. There's loads of content.
I do like their content. They're a little bit, I feel like they have relatively higher quality content. It's definitely better than BuzzFeed, for example. I feel like it's a little bit more thought through.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that was the issue. This is the thing. BuzzFeed isn't filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
But they're also kind of like a content cow. They're just constantly making content.
I know. BuzzFeed is insane.
It's a bit crazy, but maybe that's what you have to do to stay afloat in this business.
Oh, God damn.
You can't just be let's make some really thought-provoking think pieces that will get people talking, but won't pay the bills.
Yeah. God damn.
This fucking late-stage capitalist hellscape that we're in.
Damn, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm freaking out. And
let's see. So the bankruptcy filing comes amid a challenging period for several technology. So it could also be linked to tech companies, whatever, and media companies as they resort to downsizing in recent months due to turbulent economy and weak advertising market. Okay, so that's, again, it's all probably linked.
Yeah.
You're right. Advertising, maybe because all tech is going insane and everyone's freaking out about the economy. The advertising dollars are just not there. No. So that if that's the majority of your income, that's gonna be very difficult. So it says Vice was among a group of fast rising digital media ventures that once commanded rich valuations as they courted millennial audiences. Yep. It rose to prominence alongside its co-founder Shane Smith, who built his media empire from a single Canadian magazine in Montreal. Oh, from a Canadian.
It's from a Canadian.
God damn.
Be a Canadian sweetheart.
God damn. But apparently it be going down. So then, it says last month, BuzzFeed Inc. said it would shutter its news division, which was renowned for its irreverent and probing coverage, but ultimately succumbed to the challenges of its digital first business model. So basically right now, everything's fucked.
Yeah.
All these companies are going under. They're laying off employees.
Yep.
All this tech shit is I don't know what's happening. I guess we were in this tech bubble before where we were,
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, we thought it was just always going to be growing and all this stuff. And now it's just bursting.
Bursting at the seams.
Lord
Rose.
Jesus, guys. Doesn't all this stuff just makes me tired and makes me want to just move to the countryside.
And start your animal rescue?
Well, I proposed that we start a vegan commune.
Yeah.
Where we rescue animals.
We did mention this to our friend actually in Vancouver.
Yes,
and he was on board.
He was like, I'm fully on board.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking, we get a piece of land. Okay. Maybe not too far. I still want to be close to, things. Or get, some properties, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you can either live in your own home or you can have roommates. But then it has like a community feel where we all know each other. It's almost like a little town.
I love it.
And then we rescue animals.
I love it.
And we take turns taking care of animals. We support each other.
I love it.
We, have group dinners together.
I love
where
it.
each household, helps prepare a dinner each night of the week. So we all gather.
So guys, what do you think? Will you be part of Rose's commune?
It's the more I talk about it, the more magical it sounds.
God damn, it sounds like a euphoric place, Rose.
It sounds like utopia.
It does, except I'll be there with you. No. Just kidding, guys.
It's like that thing that I still always talk about, which is that Danish community model, where basically, again, people live in these communities where people have their own homes. Okay, it's not like you have to all live together in like a small house.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
But everyone has their own homes. There's people that are single. There's people that are married. There's families. There's older people, younger people, different types of people. But then they kind of like live in this community together, and then they kind of like all know each other, and then every evening, or maybe it's once a week, I don't know, they have like a really big dinner together.
Yeah, that's so
like
cute.
It's so nice.
That is really cute.
That would solve loneliness.
There we go, guys. And on that positive note, guys, thank you so much.
Daniel needs to get the fuck out of here.
I want to go lay down and rest a little bit before we have to record again. Guys, on that,
I'm glad you're having such a good time, Daniel.
I know. I'm loving life
All
right
right,
now,
guys. So make sure you check out our Patreon. Once again, it is patreon.com/The Savage Podcast. Once again, we will be talking about the things we have had it with when it comes to dating.
Ooh,
in 2023, motherfuckers.
Damn.
So check that out, patreon.com/The Savage Podcast. It is as little as only $3 a month.
Yep.
Very cheap.
Yep.
And also check out our trips to Thailand and Bali. Once again, the links are in the show notes. So if you want to sign up, book now. Otherwise, you might lose your space.
Exactly.
Space.
And
God,
guys,
I can't even talk.
I know. Well, come on, Rose. Get it together over there.
Damn,
only one of us is hungover. Basically, guys, if you're watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe. Give that video a thumbs up. Show us some love in the comment section below, and click follow on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on, and give us a rating, guys.
Yes, thank you so much for 5 stars, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Talk to you guys next week, guys. Bye.